Welcome, I'm Didi Morris. Thanks for joining me. Today I'd like to discuss with you the narcissist and impulsivity. The narcissist is not the safest person to be around, and I would highly recommend keeping the furthest distance from the narcissist as possible, preferably no contact. If you have to be around a narcissist, such as within a work environment, perhaps you still live at home, or you co-parent with a narcissist, or some other extenuating circumstance, then there are other methods that I discuss on this channel within other videos regarding how to handle those situations. But it's not at all safe to be around a narcissist because of their instability, their aggression, and their impulsivity. So I want to discuss 5 main ways that narcissists express themselves in very impulsive ways. Number 1, when they're driving, things come up when the narcissist is upset for some reason, or is trying to be passive aggressive. It comes out oftentimes overtly in their driving. They drive crazily, they go way above the speed limit, don't take precaution when they're going around curves. They are very impatient with other drivers. They oftentimes eat and drive, text and drive, listen to loud music while going to driving on high speeds, not being able to hear other things happening in the environment, such as perhaps a fire engine, emergency services coming in the vicinity. Narcissists also use their driving in abusive ways. They do this to affect negatively anyone that's in the car with them or a passenger. So you may be asking the narcissist to stop, to slow down. You may be showing signs of anxiety. You may become emotional, but you have to realize that all of this is supply for the narcissist. They enjoy it, they're absorbing it because that's how they survive. They survive off of your emotions or your energy in motion. So, while driving, road rage, etc., these are all a part of the narcissist's character. Number 2, when it comes to spending, narcissists are very, very uninhibited when it comes to spending. Now, you might say, well, I requested this from the narcissist, or I asked them to help me with a bill, or I asked them to borrow money or something like that, and they refuse to do it. That's something different. That's not exactly what I'm referring to here when it comes to impulsivity with narcissism. When the narcissist denies money to you, that's their form of somehow punishing you or trying to gain energy from you, or future faking with you, like holding a carrot in front of you with a stick. They want you to continue to beg them. They enjoy it. It gives them satisfaction, to be noticed, to be focused on, to be needed. It's huge supply for a narcissist. But when a narcissist is feeling unregulated or out of balance because perhaps they're in between romantic relationships, or they have just lost a couple of friends, or they're not getting all the attention they want, or they're feeling somewhat dysregulated within because their supply is low, they oftentimes engage in crazy spending. They go out and buy something that costs hundreds of dollars when they may not have paid some bill. They may not have paid a credit card bill, or they may not have paid their phone bill. They would put something of luxury over a priority. Narcissists also spend money to impress. So they spend money to, let's say they're dating, they want to impress a date, or they may, have co-workers they take, to happy hour, or take to dinner, or hang out on the weekend, or host them at their home. And they spend lots of money to do this. Even if it's not hundreds of dollars, they spend enough money to do this where they're lacking in their own lives, or someone who depends on them is lacking, whether it's a child or a parent or someone else. What comes first to the narcissist? Their priority is to impress, to get attention, to build up their supply chain. So they want to make sure their inventory is full when it comes to people. Number 3, sex. Narcissists are very impulsive when it comes to sex because, as we all know, there's a lot of emotion that is tied into sexual experience. Narcissists are great performers when it comes to sex. So, they put on their best show, and this is how they trap a lot of unsuspecting victims. Narcissists are also well known for engaging in unprotected sex. Narcissists are high risk takers, right? They don't think first, they act first. And then, let's say, for instance, there's an unwanted pregnancy that results from this unprotected sexual activity. Oftentimes, narcissists would be apparently shocked that there's an unwanted pregnancy. They'd be upset. It's not a part of their plan. It's because they don't plan ahead. The only thing narcissists have a plan for is how they're going to discard you. You are there to serve them. Even though they perform for you, it's because they know that they're investing and they will cash in. They will come in and reap from their investment. So it's not something they're giving to you. It's something they're giving to themselves. They didn't come to reap responsibility. They didn't come to be tied down. That's not why they're there. Number 4, narcissists don't like to plan. So let's say, for instance, you're going on a trip, or you're moving out of town, you're planning to get a new house or something like that with the narcissist. Narcissists don't want you to have your life mapped out. They want you to just live, willy-nilly, or on the cusp, or go with the flow. And the reason is because if you have a plan and you stick to your plan, that's very close to having boundaries. And narcissists are allergic to boundaries. They don't want you to have a plan. They don't like the A, B, C, and D plan. They would discourage it. They want you to go according to their agenda. So narcissists have an agenda. It may not always go according to plan in their mind, how they have it set up, but they have an agenda. And if they have to take a detour left, right, or make a U-turn to get to that agenda, to the end of it, that's what they would have to do. Whereas you may be trying to go in a linear direction, you may be planning on going in sequence or be coordinated with your plan, such as, well, here's plan A. If that doesn't work out, here's plan B, etc. Narcissists feel like they have lost control, or you have some form of control. If you have this plan mapped out, they can't, do what they need to do, or they would have to thwart or mess up your plans or ruin them so that their agenda would shine through. Even when it comes down to, let's say, a narcissist in a family setting, narcissists are not people who, care what happens after their life is over. You may ask a narcissist regarding how they would like, let's say, their funeral plans, for instance. Narcissists don't care about such things. A lot of people may not care about such things, but it's not uncommon for people to consider whether they'd be cremated, whether they'd be buried formally, where they'd be buried, purchasing burial plots, having life insurance if you have a family with children to care for. Narcissists, that's not a part of their plan. Their ultimate plan is their agenda. The ultimate plan is destroying the person or the people within their immediate surroundings. They're not even thinking about their third supply or their fifth supply in the next 5 to 10 years. They're thinking about their immediate surroundings. They live day to day, week to week, year to year. So, I know narcissists who have said that, hey, they don't care how they end up or how they die or anything like that. All they care about is right now in this immediate moment, which means that they don't plan for their family's future or their future. So you're going to have to be the person to take care of the narcissist financially and otherwise. If they pass on or die, it's going to be your responsibility. That's not their concern, which is sad because it's going to be your responsibility on your head. It's not a narcissist's concern. Now, if a narcissist took out a life insurance plan in your and they're the benefactor, I'd be concerned because there's too many stories of narcissists and sociopaths, etc., taking out life insurances of significant amounts, and then suddenly their spouses or family members go missing or are found dead or something like that. So I'd be highly cautious if a narcissist is interested in life insurance. If you have accepted the fact that and realize the fact that there are narcissists, particularly on the high end of the spectrum, aka malignant narcissist or someone suffering from NPD. Number 5, narcissists can become very physically aggressive. Narcissistic rage is something that you may have experienced on more than one occasion. Very scary experience, as many have reported, and can be life-threatening and fatal. Narcissists are known to be physically abusive. Narcissists can, lose their cool and become physically aggressive with children, women, other men, authority figures, people they consider weaker or vulnerable. With narcissists can become physically aggressive with pets. They can become physically threatening. They punch walls, kick down doors, break stuff, destroy, vandalize, whether it's objects within the home, your car, other things, property outside of the home, whatever it is. Narcissists can be very destructive. Sometimes people don't realize that they're even with a malignant narcissist or someone of that cluster B spectrum until they have witnessed narcissistic rage or narcissists becoming physical. There they are, how narcissists can show their impulsivity. Number 1, within their driving. Number 2, through sexual encounters. Number 3, within their spending habits. Number 4, by not planning. Number 5, being aggressive. Thanks for being here. I'm so glad you're able to join me today. Hope you're having a good day or night. See you again next time where we'll chat in my other videos. Bye. Take care.